And then you also mentioned about know your user base a lot, trying to understand what the users actually need or what the users actually will use at the current market. How, when you're a product designer or when you work with different projects, what is the current process of that? What kind of information do you collect?
So I think that for Web3, it's the same as anything in Web2, right? There's a lot of different ways to come up with product ideas. There's a lot of different ways to figure out kind of what features to design or build. Sometimes that is by listening to the user directly, interviewing them about their problems, finding those pain points that you can address. That's one side of it. Other times it's finding what you see as a core inefficiency. One of the biggest things that Web3 enables us to do, what it really does is it enables interoperability between applications.
Right.
So for example, the first company that I started, right, we were trying to do this micro-credentialing thing. But building micro-credentialing powered by a community means you have to first have a community.
Right.
And then you also have to build a double-sided marketplace between employers and talent, and also build a technology layer for all three. That's really hard for a single company to do. But in crypto, it's possible for companies to collaborate with each other. And one example would be one of the products we worked on, actually called Layer3.xyz. And they're awesome. They make it so that DAOs can issue bounties to their members for completing tasks. But I saw a really interesting application of Layer 3 with this DAO called Super Team DAO. And what they do is they do an online Rust programming course. It's like Codecademy for Solana smart contracts. And so you can go take this course and then you receive an NFT, and then NFT says, you've graduated from this course and your work is high quality. Well then, I was talking with the Layer 3 guys, and they're like, oh yeah, we need you guys to design a feature for us that's like an applicant tracking system where you can see people who've applied to work for a DAO, and then they connect their wallets, and then you can access NFTs in their wallets, including NFT credentials. And I said, wait a second, NFT credentialing powered by a community, you get micro-credentials when you complete things, and then you literally use that to apply to a job. That's what we were building years ago, but it's done differently because you know what? It's good for Super Team to do specifically training and evaluation for people doing Solana smart contracts. Someone else can do Solidity, right? Someone else can do design. Someone else can do marketing. And everybody can use the blockchain as a core layer where they can all talk to each other and they can all interact with each other. So instead of having to do what we did, which is basically do everything ourselves and hope we can raise enough money and hire enough people and everything to make that possible, you can just break off a piece that is just small enough to chew and then know that other people will go and fill in the gaps where you maybe have not built a product. It disincentivizes monopolies and it incentivizes cooperation. So I think that for founders, right, sometimes it makes sense to look at it from first principles to say, what is an industry today where interoperability would make it dramatically more efficient and work backwards from there. That can make a lot of sense. But then there's another piece in Web 2, which is I feel like there were for many years, as the tech industry was rising in the United States, there was this trope of founders in other countries, whether it's Rocket Internet in Germany or whether it's various Chinese founders, taking inspiration from that and bringing it over, right? It's like Google started up, let's start up Baidu, right? And then over time it actually flipped, and all of a sudden everybody in the US wants to make a super app because they all see WeChat and they say, oh my God, let's make a WeChat for America.
But it's hard.
It's very hard to do. But there is some truth to the idea that there are countries that move at different speeds and on different timelines.
Of course.
And to me, one of those countries is South Korea. My co-founder was actually just in South Korea a few weeks ago. She went to Hyundai Mall in Seoul, and as she was checking out, they were like, well, you've spent some money here, and we want to give you points that you can use towards your future purchase. She said, great. They said, what's your wallet address? She said, what? And they're like, yes, there'll be an NFT.
Yeah.
And that's at one of the biggest malls in Seoul. 40% of the Korean public owns crypto. And what that leads to is more actual consumer usage and adoption. It's not that the market there is crazy developed, right? But they are several years ahead of us in the US.